Hi everyone, I'm Taylor and welcome to the Tribe Live's 30 Days of Yoga Challenge. Today is day 29. We are almost done with the challenge. I can't believe it. So for today's practice, I want to focus on gratitude because I don't think that we could ever show enough gratitude for the blessings in our lives, right? So usually at the end of my class, I'll ask you to think of one thing you're grateful for and hold it in your heart as you leave the mat, as you leave your practice. And for today's class, I want to switch things up a bit. I want you to start off the practice thinking of something you're grateful for. So right now, before we get moving, before you do anything else, think of one thing right now that you're grateful for. Okay? And so when you have it, imagine that thing you're grateful for is a seed. Okay? And we're going to plant it in our hearts as we center ourselves today at the beginning of practice. And then as we move and as we breathe in our practice, think of it as us watering, fertilizing, and adding a little sunshine to that seed so it can grow. And then when we leave our practice, carrying that with you, that planted seed with you for the rest of the day and watching the effects of that gratitude that you've planted in your heart and see how the rest of your day unfolds or maybe moving forward. So you can never have enough gratitude. Today is all about gratitude. So when you're ready, roll out your mat and we will begin. All right, so starting in a seated position, remembering that thing that you've decided today that you're going to focus on for gratitude. So sitting nice and tall, removing the flesh from your sits bones, just taking a moment to settle in, slow down. All right, so sitting nice and tall with the heart over the hips, resting the palms down on your thighs, closing your eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. And continue to breathe as you imagine that seed of gratitude, planting itself in your heart. If you're not big on metaphors or imagery like this, then forget what I'm saying. Just hold on to something that you're thinking about, right? But I like to imagine things like this. So just imagining that seed of gratitude is planted in your heart. And as you breathe, imagine each breath is a drop of water. And so we're dropping a little bit of water on the seed, allowing it to grow. And then as you continue to breathe a little bit more, imagining that it's in sunlight. Each breath is a ray of sunlight, helping that little seed to grow. So continuing to breathe, slowing down the body, slowing down the thoughts. Take one more inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. And then you can open your eyes. All right, so to start out the practice, we're going to do a little spine twist just to warm up the spine here. So we're going to twist over to the left first. So left hand on outside your left hip, right hand to that left knee. Inhale, sitting nice and tall, and exhale, twisting a little deeper. Inhale, sitting tall, and exhale, twisting deeper. Coming back to center. Other side. So inhale, sitting nice and tall, and exhale, twisting a little deeper. Inhale, sitting tall, and exhale, twisting deeper. And coming back to center. We'll roll over the ankles, coming to all fours just briefly, and then we will flip our toes, pressing back to down dog when you're ready. So walking out the dog, rolling out the ankles, bending your knees one at a time, shifting the hips to the left left and to the right. Warming up the body. Bring your big toes together as you lift that right leg up and back. Stepping it forward, planting the foot, dropping the back foot at a 45-degree angle, then rising up, warrior one. So breathing into that hip, that left hip, really grounding down through the outside of that left foot, working to pull that left hip forward an inch or two. Lifting up to the fingertips, lifting with the heart. Taking a full breath. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, opening to warrior two. So adjusting the feet, front heel to back arch alignment. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Bending that front knee one more inch. Take one more breath, looking out over that right middle finger. And then bring your hands to your hips, straightening that front leg. Rotating that right foot so the feet are now parallel. You're facing your left side of the mat. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. So bringing the hands on the hips. You'll inhale, lifting the chin and chest up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold, leading with the heart down onto the ground. So releasing the arms down to the ground if you can, fingertips in line with the toes. If you have blocks at home, you can use those to prop up your hands. Also, if you have a chair, you can use the back of a chair, the seat of a chair to support you here. So get creative. No need to suffer through the pose, right? And so as we're folding here, imagine your spine is riding a wave in the ocean. So when you inhale, you'll lift up the spine, lengthening it, reaching from the hips to the top of your head, and then exhale, folding a little deeper. Inhale, rising and lifting. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, folding. One more time. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, folding. Bring your hands back to your hips, rising up, leading with the heart. Rotating your feet to warrior two again. Take a breath. And then windmill your arms down, framing that front foot, lifting up your left heel. Dropping the left heel, the left knee, you'll toe heel that right foot out, closer to the right edge of the mat. And then from here, we'll just do a little hip opener here. So planting that left hand, twisting over to the right, placing that right hand on the inside of that right thigh. Not the knee, the thigh. And then pressing that leg, coming onto the outer edge of that right foot as you're opening that leg too, right? So pressing into the thigh and twisting the heart a little bit up towards the sky. So you might feel this in both hips. Definitely that left hip. And if you need anything to prop up that left hand too, use that, right? Use props until your flexibility and your strength gets to a point where you don't need them anymore. Doesn't mean you can't do yoga, doesn't mean yoga is not for you. It just means you're at a different place. So be patient with yourself. And then we can relax that hand down on the ground. Step that right foot back to plank. Yogi's choice, take a flow or press back to down dog. Taking 2 breaths. Bringing your big toes together, lifting that left leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward, planting that right foot, rising up, warrior one. So again, bending that front knee, pulling that right hip forward an inch or two, grounding down to the outer edge of that right foot. Lifting up with the heart and the fingertips. Breathing into that right hip, feeling the stretch there. Taking one more breath. Inhale, reaching up through the fingertips, and exhale, opening to warrior two. So adjusting the feet, front heel to back arch alignment, shoulders over hips, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Bending that front knee one more inch, tuning into the breath as you gaze over that left middle finger. Take one more breath. Bring your hands to your hips, straightening that front leg, rotating the foot over to the right. So your feet are parallel, facing the right side of your mat now. Bring your hands to your hips. As you inhale, lifting the chin and chest up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And again, bringing the hands down to the mat, fingertips in line with the toes. Again, if you need blocks, use them. If you need a chair, use them. You know, don't get discouraged and give up and not be able to feel the stretch here, right? There's other ways to do it until we work up the flexibility. Okay, so as we fold here, doing the same thing, imagining our spine is riding a wave. So as we inhale, lifting up and lengthening through the upper body, and exhale, folding a little deeper. Inhale, rising and lifting. And exhale, folding a little deeper. Inhale, rising and lifting. Exhale, folding. One more time. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, folding. Bring your hands to your hips. Rising up with your heart. Rising up. Coming back to warrior two. So rotating that front foot. Take a breath. And then windmill the arms down, framing that front foot. Dropping that back knee, you can toe heel that left foot out over to the left a little bit. And then with that right hand planted down on the ground, twisting to the left a little bit, place that left hand on the inside of that left thigh. Again, pressing that leg away. We'll come onto the outer edge of that left foot. So see how that rotates out a little bit? So just rotating gently and then twisting the heart up to the sky a little bit if you can. So now we're feeling the stretch on that right hip a little bit more. Just breathe in here. Taking one more breath. And then releasing the hand back down, stepping back to plank. Again, yogi's choice, take a flow or lift the hips up and back. Taking 2 breaths. Looking forward, walking your feet up in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Lifting the heart, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath. And then release in the arms by your side. So just taking a moment here to stand tall, feel grounded, feel strong. Show a little gratitude too for your body and what it's done so far for you. No matter where you are, you know, you have it better than someone else in the world, right? So don't take your health, your body, your abilities for granted, ever. So standing nice and tall with your feet grounded, pressing into the ground, shoulders over hips, roll the shoulders up and back. And then standing nice and tall, you can close your eyes with your palms facing forward and just checking in with the body. Thinking of that one thing you're grateful for, that seed, feeling your feet planted on the ground and feeling supported and held by the ground and the mat as well. Take one more breath. And then you can open your eyes, shaking out the legs. We'll come to a balance series here, okay? So, be easy on yourself. If you can't quite do the full expression, work up to it, right? Mine's not perfect either. Just disclaimer here, okay? So, feet are grounded, shifting the weight into that left foot as you start to lift that right knee up. And so maybe you stay here, and this might be challenging enough for you from a balance standpoint. So stay here. If you want to take it a little deeper, you can grab onto that big toe with your right hand. So grab it onto the big toe. Maybe working to open the hip over to the right a little bit. Right? Maybe this is where you are. Or for the full expression, and start with really focusing on standing tall and lifted in that left standing leg, right? And then you can start to straighten the right leg out to the side. And as you do that, working to level the hips. See, and I fell out, so I get back into it, right? Keep working on it. We'll be here for a few more breaths, so just play around with it. But as you work to straighten the leg, it's a balance of tension and release, right? So working to open the hips too as we do this, standing nice and tall. Taking one more breath. And then release that foot. Feel the burn on that left leg, that left glute. I feel it. So now we shift the weight into our right foot. All right, so again, you can stand nice and tall here. Maybe hugging that left knee in too, and maybe this is where you are. This is a challenging balance pose for you. Or you can grab onto the big toe of that left foot, working to open the hip a little bit. Oop, see, I'm teetering too. So opening the hip a little bit, maybe you stay here, or again, working to straighten out that left leg. Lowering the left hip. Standing nice and tall, breathing. Taking one more breath. And then releasing that foot. Shake it up. All right, coming to the top of the mat again. When you get there, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a breath. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, stepping back to plank. Yogi's choice, take a flow. Or press back to down dog. Taking 2 breaths. Bending the knees, releasing down to the mat. Child's pose, big toes together, knees wide. Pressing the hips back, reaching forward with the upper body, melting your forehead into the mat. So take a few breaths, thinking about that thing you're grateful for today. Think about the seed we've planted, all the watering and nurturing we've done in our practice today. Don't take that for granted. Continuing to breathe, noticing any differences you feel in your body or your mind now as opposed to the beginning of practice. Just tuning in, noticing the little things, right? And then we'll rise back up, coming to a seated position with our legs out in front of us. Taking your time, we'll roll down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time. No rush. And then hugging your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. And then releasing the feet to the ground, knees to the sky. Palms, arms by your side, palms facing down, right? We're gonna come to bridge. So with our knees and our feet about hips distance apart, start to rotate, rotating the hips by pulling the navel and the belly button down towards the ground. As you do that, you notice the lower back presses into the ground, okay? That's what we want. So pressing the lower back into the ground, and then from here you'll start to press into your heels, and as you do, you can lift your hips up. So pressing into the heels, lifting up with the hips, continuing to lift. Maybe you slide the wrists and the shoulders underneath, continuing to press. Feeling a shoulder opening here when you do that, pressing into the heels, lifting the hips. Keep breathing. Keep lifting. Keep breathing. Taking one more breath. And then releasing the hips down. Hugging them into your chest. Hugging the knees into your chest. And then rocking side to side. We'll do that one more time. A nice big hip opener, heart opener, back bend. Feels nice, right? So planting the feet, hips distance apart, planting the palms down, and then as you start to pull the navel down, you rotate the lower back so it's on the ground, pressing into the heels, lifting the hips, lifting, lifting, lifting. Again, maybe you slide the wrists and the shoulders under if that felt good for you the first time around. Continuing to press, so lifting the hips, pressing into the heels, really opening the heart, opening the hips, relaxing the glute muscles as well, right? So continuing to breathe, pressing into the heels, lifting the hips, taking one more full breath, and then releasing everything down to the ground. This time bringing your feet about mat's distance apart and windshield wiper the knees, dropping them to the left and to the right. Nice lower back and hip release here. And when you're ready, you can lengthen the legs out in front of you, dropping the feet away from one another. Arms by your side, palms to the sky. And then take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Allowing yourself to melt into the mat with each exhale. We'll be here for about a minute. I'll bring us up to finish class together. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reaching your arms up overhead, stretching from your fingertips to the tips of your toes. Taking your time. You can roll onto your right side body. Pausing here for a breath, and then making your way up to a nice, comfortable seated position. Take a deep breath when you get here. All right? So take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. And this is usually the part where I'll say, think about something you're grateful for and hold it in your heart. Well, you've already done that today. So rethink about that one thing you're grateful for. Hold it in your heart right now for one final time. All right, my friend. As you leave today, as you leave your mat, as you leave your practice, take that gratitude with you. We've planted the seed, we've watered it, we've nurtured it, we've put a little sunshine in as well, so it's ready to go. And notice how that feels when you leave the mat, right? Try to do something today that shows that gratitude to the people in your life around you, maybe even a complete stranger, all right? You might make someone's day, you never know, okay? So I will leave you with one quote that I found the other day that I think is relevant to this practice of gratitude today, right? It's by the amazing Oprah Winfrey, of course, and she said, "No gesture is too small when done with gratitude." And I think that that's so true. So hold that gratitude in your heart, bring it off the mat with you today and in everything you do. I will see you tomorrow for day 30, the final day. Have a great day, my friend. Namaste. Congratulations, my friend. You just finished day 29 of the 30-day challenge. We have one more day to go. If you liked this class, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below and share the love. Send this with your friends and your family, maybe someone you're grateful for. Just a thought. And don't forget to subscribe too, because after the challenge, I'll be doing some weekly videos with classes and other resources to help you build on your practice to get it stronger. So if that sounds good, make sure you subscribe. You won't want to miss out. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.